Today's segment of can reduce your energy bills by up to 30% and receive a tax credit in the process.
All my brothers are so southern, they'll get up for you for nothing. Take this brother I've known for many. You need some sisters.
Welcome into the Thursday edition of Oh Brother. I'm Will Lochamy along with Reed Lochamy. We're coming to you live from the Brandon Brown and Country Western Delight Studios. Reed, it's Thursday, January 7th.
Wow.
And,
this is an exciting day because this is the day of the BCS Championship.
It is. Alabama going for their 42nd national championship.
That's right.
Was it 40? I couldn't.
40, no.
It's 42,
It's somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're going to win.
Today, it's happening.
Today, it's happening. So anyway, we want to bring in a friend of ours. He hosts a show in Birmingham, Alabama, where we live, called the Roundtable.
Yes.
It's on WJOX. Lance Taylor is actually in California.
Lance, tell us what is happening in Pasadena.
Well, not much. They've got us 55 miles away from the stadium, which I've never understood how they say they need to take the teams and the media out of the mix where, they won't throw their concentration off. But the thing about California is they don't even have an NFL team in Los Angeles, so obviously nobody cares about football.
So
Right.
you're staying in Newport Beach where the team's staying.
Yes, we're in Newport Beach, so we're basically if you're going with traffic, you're looking at about an hour and 45-minute commute. If there's a lot of traffic in the mix, you're looking at over 2 hours.
Now, Lance, it's about 4:40 here. What time is it there?
It'd be about 2:40.
It would be about, you're just looking at the clock, right?
Yeah, we're Pacific time, so just a couple hours behind.
So what time are you guys leaving for the game?
Well, we've got to leave. We're actually already en route. We had to leave at about 1:15 today. We're totally thrown out of whack. Our morning guys, their show is Central Time, 6 o'clock in the morning. They had to go on at 4 a.m.
Wow.
We go on at 10. We were going on at 8. So, when we basically got up the show, we had to get in a shuttle, the last media shuttle, heading to Pasadena, and traffic on the 405 is ridiculous.
All right, now I was about to ask. I've never been to the L.A. area, but I've heard if you look out your car window right now, what do you see?
You see a bunch of cars.
Just a bunch of cars.
5 lanes that we're rolling with, and just to give everybody in the Birmingham listening area a feel for it, it would be 280 on Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock. That's what you get at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Los Angeles.
Now,
It's from about 5 a.m. till about 10 p.m. It's like 280 traffic.
Now, Lance, let me ask you this real quickly, because earlier in the week, I don't know if you heard the segment or not, but the flux capacitor predicted that Tupac Shakur would be coming back to life this year. Have you seen him while you've been in L.A.? Is he back to life already?
I have not seen any. Okay. There's been no Tupac spottings. I can only hope, though. Tupac passed away, I think it was 1996.
That's what people thought, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they thought. And I figure if Alabama can win a national championship this year, Tupac can come back.
Now, Lance, I know you've been busy this week while you've been in L.A. You went to a Lakers game the other night, right?
We did. We went to the Lakers game, which is always fun.
I didn't see it. Who won?
Lakers. Lakers won a close one.
Wow.
And who were they playing?
They played the Clippers. Well, they actually played the Rockets on Tuesday night. They played the Clippers on Wednesday night. We went to see the Clippers game. It was actually a Clippers home game, but it's easier to get tickets for a Clippers home game because we all know the story. The Lakers have 1 million celebrity fans, from Denzel to Jack to Andy Garcia, Diane Cannon. The Clippers have one. It's Billy Crystal, and I don't think he's been spotted for 6 years at a Clippers game. So easier to get tickets to the Staples if Clippers are home team.
Yeah, I was going to say, for a Clippers game, really, you just go in and it's general admission. You can almost go on the court and help them play.
You're right, Reed. The difference is, though, the beer, costs the same, which kind of sucks. It's $9 a beer at the Staples Center.
All right. Now, Lance, I know your show covered this recently, and we did a show on it last week, and it really kind of got some people angry. Fox recently brought up that they said Alabama had 7 national championships and was going for their 8th, right? So we addressed the 5 that are kind of wishy-washy that Alabama fans claim, but that, you know, a lot of people don't recognize. What's your take on all that?
Well, I heard, when you guys were bringing me on that Alabama was going for like their 34th. I think it's actually 23 if you talk to certain people. I'm under the impression, though, man, I think now it's an Associated Press National Championship. It's a BCS National Championship. But, I mean, if you want to pull what Auburn pulled back in 2004 and if you want to be the people's champ, recognize whatever. I mean, whatever makes you look better. Is that not what we do on resumes? If you're going for a job and you've ever done anything, you fluff it up a little bit. I mean, if you were in a fraternity, all of a sudden you've gone from just being a member of that fraternity for a couple of years to being the vice president of the fraternity, or you were the treasurer of the fraternity. So I think if anybody gives you any kind of bone, I think you roll with it, you run with it, and I think if you're giving any national championship from People's Choice to Weekly Reader to AP, you got to take it. So Alabama is officially going for number 23 tonight.
You know, that's actually the only legitimate argument I've heard yet for the championship debate.
I mean, I think you got to go with it.
All right, let me ask you this, Lance. A lot of people, myself sort of included, are thinking that Texas has absolutely no hope of winning this game later today. If you're an Alabama fan, what is the only reason that you might be nervous about this game?
I've heard the Heisman gene. I've heard Mark Eaton winning the Heisman. The Heisman Trophy winners don't win this game typically. Greg McElroy is consistent and solid as he's been this season. You're talking about a guy that's, been out of football for almost a month. And you wonder, Colt McCoy, we've seen him over the last couple of years. That time off is really not, factored in with the Texas quarterback. I think quarterback play, Alabama's backfield could be a concern, but my big concern, if I'm an Alabama fan, is just looking around the country and all of the so-called experts saying that this thing's a shoe-in. The SEC is going to win its 4th consecutive national championship. And, Alabama's going to have no problem with the Texas Longhorns. And I think it goes back to championship week when Texas struggled with Nebraska. Alabama wipes the Georgia Dome with the Florida Gators. Everybody's really basing this game off of that. And that's a scary thing because Texas has got a lot of athletes in that. I think too many people have looked into that first week of December to base what's going to happen tonight.
All right, also, real quick, a story that's been in the news. Where do you fall, Mike Leach or Adam James?
I'm going to go Mike Leach, and I do think that a dark closet is nowhere to put anyone unless you've got no money for a hotel room and you've only got an hour with a skank. But I think it was a mistake for Mike Leach to do what he did. But at the same time, I think Texas Tech was just looking for a reason to fire the guy, and I think there's no winners. Texas Tech is not going to get a coach to the caliber of Mike Leach. Mike Leach is not going to get a job for another year plus. He's going to be damaged goods. Adam James is going to be looked as a soft guy. Craig James looks pathetic in the whole thing. I mean, it's become a soap opera, and it's just a sad situation. But I would lean in the corner of Mike Leach. I think he's way too intelligent to put his job in jeopardy, and I think the suits at Texas Tech were just looking for a reason to force him out and not pay the money.
Yeah, Bear Bryant, who is kind of hailed as the greatest college football coach of all time, I think he's probably rolling over in his grave that someone is being fired for putting a kid, in a dark room for an hour or whatever. I just can't imagine how things were going back in those days compared to how they go now.
It is amazing. And look, I know those are archaic tactics, but let's face it, do you think Nick Saban and guys like Bill Belichick, you don't think they've done things like this in the past? The difference is they're winning. They're playing for championships, and Mike Leach, he's done a fabulous job.